We've got some pretty big New York Rangers updates involving the roster and lines to take a look at here today, as well as some injured players, kind of what's happening with them as well on this New York Rangers team. So we're going to take a look at that and more in today's video. Let's start off here, though, and taking a look at the news surrounding Jimmy Vesey, as Vince Mercagliano posts on X here saying New York Rangers are going to have a bunch of transactions coming in the next couple days, including placing Jimmy Vesey on LTIR per source. So basically this means here the Rangers could be able to save a bit of cap space, allowing them to, call up an extra body there, whether it is, forward defenseman, as Ryan Lindgren will remain on regular IR right now as he's also hurt, but I guess he won't be out for as long, which is nice there. So Jimmy Vesey going on LTIR, long-term injury reserve. It does seem like he's obviously going to have to miss up to, 10 games and 24 days there minimum. So that's kind of unfortunate. Obviously, he's going to miss a while there, but it is what it is there. It'll help save pretty much a whole another kind of, extra forward or extra defenseman there, extra spot open there. So that's not too bad with VC going LTIR, although we like to see him healthy. Lingering there, hopefully he'll come back soon. Doesn't seem like he'll be out too long, which is quite nice. Next up here, we got a pretty big piece of news that pretty much really kind of tells you which prospect is probably in favor for the first kind of top 9 forward call-up as a winger for this upcoming season for the Rangers. We'll dive into that in a second, as well as take a look at the presumed at this point kind of lineup for opening night for the New York Rangers this upcoming season. So first off here, though, we have a post from Vince Mercagliano talking about a prospect here in particular, which definitely says quite a bit about who Peter Laviolette seems to be favoring for call-ups at some point. As he says, Brett Berard will likely be assigned to AHL Hartford soon, but here's Laviolette on why he's still with the New York Rangers. And you got to remember, Brennan Othmann has already been sent down to the AHL as well. Quote, he made an impression with everybody. It's the way he works and the way he competes. You see him out here mixed in with a full NHL team, and he looks really good. And I think that definitely says a lot, though, with the fact that obviously that's some pretty good praise there from the head coach, Peter Laviolette. But the big thing is, with Othmann being sent down already and Berard, already staying up with the team, practicing with the NHL squad for a while now, it definitely does seem like Peter Laviolette would favor a guy like Brett Berard as a call-up, as, a top 9 kind of winger over someone like Brennan Othmann. Now, Berard doesn't really play much on the right side, which maybe does come into effect there. Obviously, Othmann can play both sides. Berard really just kind of a left winger, so we'd have to kind of wait and see whether or not, if they did need a right winger, would it be Othmann over Berard? We'd have to wait and see where someone else kind of switch sides. That would obviously kind of play into effect there, but it does seem like as of right now, if you'd had to power rank them, it would probably seem like for the call-ups, Berard is that top guy over Othmann potentially, so that's definitely interesting there. As a prospect, I would rate Othmann over Berard, but maybe right now, Peter Laviolette does think that Berard is a better player to make an impact right now at the NHL level, possibly over Othmann, which you never know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but right now, that's probably how things are set. We're going to take a look now at some lines that very well could end up being the lines for opening night for the New York Rangers that were posted on X here from Vince Mercagliano from the New York Rangers practice. So he ends up posting here for the top forward line, Kreider, Berard, Smith, but Berard's just a placeholder right now for Mika's advantage ad, so not really much of a surprise. And if, an injury happened there, it probably would be Brodzinski, presumably getting that, obviously, move over someone like Berard to play a center spot for sure. But, for right now, Berard being that placeholder is not a big deal. So Kreider, Mika, and Riley Smith really is that line. Then you have there Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere. No surprise there that top 6 is pretty much be locked in for a while, unless injuries happen. Then you have here the third line, though, and this is where things are a little interesting. Cooley, Hedl, and Kakko, which I don't mind at all. I think that's a fine third line there. I think that's pretty solid there. Probably going to be a solid 2-way line, hopefully. Bit of physicality there with Cooley, but not a whole ton out of Hedl and Kakko, so we'll kind of wait and see what happens there. And then you have here the fourth line, Edstrom, Carrick, and Rempe. A lot of physicality, a lot of size, a lot of toughness out of that fourth line there. I definitely like that a lot, so that's pretty interesting. And then you have here, for the defense, though, this is where things get really interesting, as we do have an injury right now to Ryan Lindgren, who's missing some time. For the defense pairs, though, you have Keandre Miller and Adam Fox. Then for the second pair, you have Braden Schneider on that left side, who's normally on the right side. He doesn't really play much on the left side at all, but he's playing on the left side here, normally a right-handed defenseman. That's interesting, alongside Jacob Trouba, who's on the right side. And for the third pair there, you have Zach Jones alongside Victor Mancini. So Chad Ruhwedel is not obviously in this lineup, who was the presumed seventh defenseman. I guess Victor Mancini has really impressed quite a bit, which is not too surprising. He's impressed me a lot as well, but the fact that they're going with a young guy over a more veteran, experienced guy like Chad Ruhwedel definitely must say a lot about what Victor Mancini has truly done at practice, at camp, at preseason. So that definitely says a lot about him, and is definitely a good thing as well, because he is a very solid young defenseman. He's got some good size there. He's a right-handed shot as well, so presumably, pretty great replacement for possibly Jacob Trouba down the road as well. So I think that could be just a great fit there, and your three kind of right-handed defensemen for years to come could possibly end up being Adam Fox, Braden Schneider, and Victor Mancini. Two of those guys are pretty big, tougher, more defensive defensemen, which is not too bad at all, so don't mind that at all. But obviously that's in a few years when Trouba's gone. But right now, Victor Mancini, he's turned a spot apparently, possibly, in the lineup for opening night. And if he does, that would be great to see, because he is a young prospect with a lot of talent, a lot of upside, and definitely is a guy to keep an eye on, because he's really impressed a lot. He's taken a lot of steps forward in his game, it seems like, and really has presumably impressed the coaching staff, which is exactly what he's got to do as a young guy to earn a spot on this team. So good for him, and good for the Rangers as well. But anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for a ton more New York Rangers content. If you are a New York Rangers fan, this is the place to be. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button for a ton more New York Rangers content throughout this entire upcoming season, as well as don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on today's video. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next one. See ya.